If you haven't listened to the previous parts of this audio series, please listen to them before continuing here. Thank you very much. I'll continue. Look, when it comes to identifying and locating the good, stop expecting everything to be easy. Stop expecting everything on the scene to be comfortable. That is what most people do. That's what common people do. They expect everything in the setting or in the scene to be comfortable. Then they think this is a good thing. No, the good is an outworking of you operating in your natural energy. A male in masculine energy, a female in feminine energy. Okay? The male being proactive, the female being reactive. That's how the good works out. Because you as a spirit being, you ought to be active, not passive aggressive as the world teaches you, with enforcing boundaries and being being direct and enclosing yourself off in this bubble. That is what will teach you to be passive aggressive, and passive aggressiveness works, but it occurs you in the long run. So okay, let's say now you are on a scene somewhere and not everything feels great. You will encounter that because remember, you operate in the world. In the world where the majority, that means common people are in the negative, they're keeping themselves accursed, they're holding on to wrong thinking patterns. Okay, that's the world you're living in. A world that's plagued by violence. Okay, so stop thinking you will go to places and everything in a setting is comfortable. Stop expecting that. Things may look comfortable because there's relief. Okay, but people still carry issues and curses with them. So let's say now you arrive somewhere, okay, and you feel this tension in the climate. Don't ignore it, just speak out against it. What happens when Christ and disciples were on the boat and there was a storm? The disciples thought they were about to die. Christ was sleeping in the back of the boat. When they woke him up, he spoke to the storm and the storm went down. This is what you ought to do when you sense a tense climate. Okay? Let's say you walk into a mall and you feel this tension. That means that there's negative contention over there. And if the negative contention feels very threatening, as if it's about to kill you, that means there's killing energy. That means something is about to explode over there. What do? You don't know what it is. You don't know who has to fight. You don't know the names of people. You don't know any of that. You're not a psychic. What do? You speak out against it. You don't have to do it aloud. You just speak out against the negative tension. Decree peace. Decree calm. Decree joy. Decree the good in the situation right over there. And what will happen? You decreeing this, both your natural energy will flow into the environment, and if you have the Holy Spirit, it will also be backup energetically from the Holy Spirit. And what will happen? The dark clouds around are under fire, and they will shrink. I'm not saying they'll disappear directly; they will shrink. Okay, and people will sense a change in the atmosphere, and sooner or later they'll figure out that the change in the atmosphere comes from you. So people begin to stare at you or look weird at you because they can't understand what just happened. Okay? Now this doesn't mean that those people can't react or respond in the proper way towards the change you brought to the climate. Some may become hostile towards you because they are attached to negative energy. So now that they feel that negative energy is under fire, they may see you as a threat and act out against you. So you can expect that. In any case, you identified what was going on, okay, and you realized that some positive vibes were needed, so you located the good by sowing the seed, by speaking against the negative climate. But there's the thing, if you sense that there's a hostile reaction against you, locating the good, then don't energize it. Again, let me repeat this, don't energize when the reaction collectively is hostile. You know why? Because you already sent an energetic vibration from you as a spirit being into the climate for the good. This is something that people ought to be glad about. This is something they should rejoice in. They should welcome you. They should embrace you and celebrate you for doing this. That's the natural reaction and response they should have. Nobody in the right mind should put up nor feel comfortable around negative energy. But when you sense that people act out against you in a negative manner, in a hostile manner, when you emit positivity, or better said, holiness into the environment, with holiness, it simply means your energetic emissions as Christ intended. Okay? When you emit holiness to a climate and the people act out in the negative, that means that they either have demons and those demons are acting out through them, or it can be that they themselves as human beings are attached and acclimatized to negative energy and now feel threatened by your positive vibration. In this case, they are projecting their fears and anxieties onto you. So you'll come under psychic attack now. That's not the right place to be. Shake the dust off your feet and move on. Don't energize them, because what will happen is they will use that strength that you bring into the climate and they'll use it for evil purposes. So you'll be financing the rebellion against Christ. No. Identify and locate, and if the reaction collectively of the climate is hostile, I'm telling you, don't energize it. You leave with your peace while they remain with their dark clouds. Okay? So let me go to that again. You enter a place, or better said, before you enter a place, let's say you need to go to the job, or you need to go to the supermarket, or you need to go to a train station. Before you enter a place, enter in supernatural first. So send your holy vibration in front of you. What I mean with holy, I don't mean what religion calls holy. This untouchable human quality, no. When you operate in agreement with Christ and your energy field is backed up by the Holy Spirit, that's operating in holiness, right over there. So anytime you send your emission on purpose, you're standing off a holy vibration. Because your energy is righteous, is right with Holy Spirit. So you operate in righteousness. You got what I'm saying here? So when you send out righteous energy or a holy vibration, however you want to call it, there will be an impact. Learn to do this before you enter a place. So if you have to go to school to teach because you're a teacher, send it in front of you before you go into the classroom. And if you have pupils with demonic spirits, those pupils either won't come to class or they'll be in class, but the demons are left behind outside. Don't wait till you're in the class and when things begin to manifest and now by your own strength, as the world taught you, you passive aggressively are going to deal with it. No. Send righteous energy in front of you. You're backed by the Holy Spirit. Okay? Look, if you are about to enter a train or whatever, send righteous energy in front of you. Impact the environment you're about to enter. Don't wait until you are in the environment and then you could impact it. Okay? I explained in the beginning of this video and in the previous video that when you enter an environment, you feel the energetic emissions from the environment to see what's going on. You do that. But before you do that, before you even enter the environment, send your righteous energy. Okay? Because if you send your righteous energy before, and then you enter the climate, and you sense that there is a fight, then you know what's going on. Okay? Look, as a believer, you ought to know how things work. When you don't know how things work, the enemy can trick you in the paranormal. Because look at this. Pagans don't have righteous energy. Why? Because they're not right with the Holy Spirit. They're not in agreement with Christ. They only have their natural energy, whether masculine and feminine energy, that they use. But for backup, they have evil spirits. And evil spirits are not righteous. Absolutely not. So, even though pagans operate in a more natural way, it's still cancelled out by the fact that they're backed up by demons. Okay? It would be better to pagans stop being pagans by becoming born again and agree with Christ, because then they will be backed up by the Holy Spirit. Okay? But pagans, even though they're not believers, they tend to succeed far more, and what they do tend to last far longer than both calm people, and unfortunately also more than with many believers, because they know stuff about their nature as human beings. Lack of knowledge, lack of the primary knowledge that you should have is not bliss. Okay? What you don't know can kill you. On the other hand, if you know things but in the wrong context, that's just as dangerous. That's just educated ignorance, as I call it. It may sound like a contradiction, but you can't be educated in ignorance, or let me say conditioned into ignorance. And that is what happens to pagans. They do have advantage because they operate more in the natural energy, but it's still ignorance because they're not aware that the paranormal aid is really a counterfeit. Anyway, for you, agree with Christ and be at peace.